recording, minimize. Welcome, one and all, to drumroll, the team fundraising workshop for the Wild Dogs 2025 to get to Logroño, Spain. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Get those emojis pumping. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to this fundraising workshop, rather. Let's make some money. And today we're going to make money as a team. We're going to do it as a squad. Um, for those of you who don't know, we're splitting up the fundraising into three different types of fundraising. On Thursday, we had a meeting about individual fundraising, how to fundraise as one person, because you could really do a lot literally just as one person, asking your friends, your family, your community to help you, the individual. But there's another facet to it, which is team fundraising. That's where we'll work as a team to help everybody get the money and then cover team expenses and stuff like that. And then the third fundraising is sponsorship, and that we will discuss on Thursday at 7:30. Okay, so what is team fundraising? Like we've just put into context there, it's fundraising that is done as a team. So yeah, basically you're going to work with other people within like the Wild Dog squad, within the supporters to do various types of fundraisers. So we'll discuss a few examples of some fundraising options that we could do as a team. We have Sam Bovum, who ran a kit drive for last year's campaign that was very successful. And but that was individual fundraising. But you'll add to that later. But yeah, name of the game here. Once we share some examples, we then want to workshop some ideas. So the campaign has come up with a few fundraising options that we can do um, as like Wild Dogs. So selling discs. We're hoping that players, we come up with a drive here that we can do. Um, we're looking to maybe do some merchandise and maybe even like a fantasy league for one of the tours in Cape Town or Pietermaritzburg. So yeah, those are the types of ideas. That's the trajectory of today's meeting. Um, and yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to find out how to raise funds as a team. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Bovum for him to tell us some ideas and some experiences, in fact, that he's had fundraising as a squad. Over to you, Sam. Yay!
Thanks, Tepo. Um, if it's okay, I'm not going to turn on my camera just because I'm struggling a little bit with my Wi-Fi. So to give everyone a little bit of context, I ended up last campaign 2023 being the unofficial head of team fundraising slash player fundraising, which was an interesting role that I kind of created for myself. Um, and the primary reason for doing so is because there were two players on our team who otherwise would not have been able to attend Worlds, having the final selection been taken place at the start of February. So I decided that as I was named Spirit Captain, it was my mission to make sure that our whole team made the tournament. And fortunately, we were successful in doing so. And we raised about 40,000 Rand between mostly myself and Robin Ann and a couple of team things that I'll explain now. So I'll get back to some principles, but to start with from examples that we did. So Tepal mentioned a kit drive that I ran, which was quite successful. I think we made about between 28 and 30,000 Rand. So the way that worked is it was split into two different drives. So one was an auction and one was just a plain kit drive raffle. So I reached out to a whole host of players who are going to Worlds in 2023 from the UK, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, America, and I basically asked people to donate kit and for their kit to be received at Worlds and then brought back to give to South African players who bought the kit after the tour. So initially, I was just going to do it as a raffle where everyone bought tickets and then people were randomly allocated kit based on their size preferences, which ended up being part of the drive. But I was fortunate in that I got the contact of Avalon Agawa, who was a former UCT player who's currently playing semi-pro ultimate in the US. And she hooked me up with a number of pro kits, mostly from what was then the AUDL, now UFA. So we got two Chicago Union kits. I got some Minnesota Wind Chill kit from Paul Krennick, and that ended up being auctioned off. So I allowed people to submit mystery bids, and then people were able to the highest bidder was able to choose their kit based on what was available. And that raised 8,000 Rand on its own between about 6 items of kit. So that was pretty lucrative, and I would definitely recommend doing that again. I do worry that the kit drive raffle part of it might be a bit exhausted for this current 2025 timeframe, just because most of the South African players will have either recently got new Worlds kit from our drive, or will not be willing to or able to donate kit as many of them did in the past. So that's just a caveat if someone is looking to run the kit drive again. I'm more than happy to chat to anyone and give advice if someone chooses to explore that avenue. Some other examples of fundraising that we did, Roman Hislop ran a half marathon and did a Back a Buddy campaign in support of the Wild Dogs, which is awesome. I think she raised 5 grand doing that, which was really cool. And that was split between the Wild Dogs. We did a fundraising concert, so I sold out a venue. Eliza Stewart helped me organize it, sold tickets, and got 80 people into a venue, and then did a concert, and all the proceeds went towards the Wild Dogs, which was cool. That was another 8 grand in the bank. And then we ran a regionals tuck shop at the Western region mixed regionals, where we sold things like Powerade, Stereo Stumpies, that sort of thing. And that made about 4 grand, which is split between the Western region Wild Dogs, which is another cool thing. Yeah, so a lot of different avenues were explored last year, which was cool. And I also looked at doing raffles and trying to sell things at markets and schools, but I didn't really have time to do all of the different things. So those kind of fell by the wayside. But I would definitely recommend anyone who's looking to fundraise for next campaign to look at raffles and try and sell things. If you've got contacts at high schools, trying to get into like Westerford, for example, getting kids to sell. If Kelly or Emma made the final team, for example, it would be good for them to sell things in support of the Wild Dogs at their school. Same thing for anyone further afield. I don't really know other people's schools and what their situations are, but that would be an example. And then I just wanted to leave you with kind of 3 principles that I think would be useful and kind of helped me in fundraising. Number one is try and maximize your effort with regards to how much you can make. So if we look at the examples of the things that I did, kit drive, auction, concert, and tuck shop, most of those things required kind of 2 to 3 hours at a time of work, and they ended up making about 40,000 Rand. So I think maximizing the time and the energy that you're able to put in when the campaigns are really going to be busy is really important. I think it's easy to get stuck into ambitious visions of grandeur, being like, I could raise 100,000 Rand on my own. And unfortunately, that's just not going to be possible. Not to burst anyone's bubble, but I think knowing how to maximize your effort and prioritizing some things over others is a good idea. And then number two, leverage non-Frisbee connections. Connections, excuse me. So even listening to Tepo speaking about the current fundraising campaigns that the the management is looking to do, these are all very focused on Frisbee. And while of course that makes sense for the management to be focused on Frisbee related fundraising, as a team, it's important to use our connections outside of Frisbee because the community is small. We only have about 500 people in the South African community. I think it's really important to not put too much strain financially or energy wise on the players who already support us so much in attending a campaign of this magnitude. So try and do things that are not necessarily related to Frisbee. And that perhaps was one of my mistakes in doing the regionals tuck shop and the kit drive, so focused on Frisbee. And where the fundraising concert maybe was a better option. And then final thing, be creative and think outside the box. I never thought that it would be possible for me to host an 80-person concert, and it ended up being possible. I didn't think that I would be able to host an auction and raise 8,000 rand like that. So I think outside the box, try and take the opportunities and connections that you are um, given, and there will be lots of people in the Frisbee community that can help. So I think leverage connections, try and use outside Frisbee um, connections and network as much as possible. And I think that's it from me. Seppo, do you have any questions or anything else from the floor?
Um, yeah, could you give me a little bit more um, detail on what you meant by maximizing your efforts, that first point? Did you mean like maximize your efforts with the small things instead of like looking to be too ambitious? Well, yeah, do you mind elaborating?
Of course. I think for me, it's about trying to use your time wisely,
Mm.
and maybe not. Maybe a better phrasing of that tip would be try to not do something that is time intensive. So things like we looked at doing like a washing cars, but for the return that you get, which is probably like between 50 and 150 rand per car if you're doing inside and out, it's not really worth the hour that you spend doing that process. So in contrast, when I was organizing the raffle, for example, the kit raffle, that was me putting in like 2 to 3 hours of time for admin at like each week, and that ended up producing a lot more than kind of 10 hours per week would have done if I was just trying to do car washing, for example.
Okay, I see. I see. I see. So it's about using your time wisely and trying to
Yeah,
maximize like the amount of hours spent in
exactly.
relation to money earned. Okay, I
Yes,
see. That helps. Thank you very much. Any
sure.
other questions? All right. All right. Thank you very much, Sam. Yes, let's get those clappy emojis clapping. Thank you for your time, your effort, and your experience. Came in handy. Tian has a question, or he's just putting his hands up to push the sky. Oh, he's just clapping. Okay, cool. Um,
Simple.
yes, no.
So I don't know. I could phrase this as a question or as an argument or whatever. But I was a finance HC at the residence this year, and we also had a fundraising. And
Tell us.
out of all the stuff we did, like raffles and those sort of stuff, were the best. I think we made 50K the one night,
Huh.
in one night. But that's a bit different because we could sell like um what do you call that? Where you're hunting, like hunting tickets, or
Uh,
like the field is very wide. But I mean, do you think people will be interested in like cleats from pro players or discs from certain games or stuff like that? Um, because I mean, raffles are in my experience, the easiest way, like Sam said, to maximize your money.
okay. I think. Wait, can you hear me? I can't see anything moving. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Wait, Sam, do you want to say something?
Uh, I can jump in, but you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I think in terms of raffles, I agree. That would probably be the easiest thing for us to do. But then just to add what Sam said earlier, try to avoid appealing to the frisbee community, because that's what we'll do as the administrative staff, with like, how you say, with discs and stuff like that, and we'll plan that. But what we need is something to go beyond. So if you do have a raffle and you do have like some hunting stuff, then maybe I don't think that's a bad idea. um yeah, but yeah, some, we'll have to discuss what actually gets like to be the prize at the raffle. But yeah, don't, the sky's the limit. And who says we can't run multiple raffles that like have different prizes, to appeal to different communities. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. We'll go to Sam. Hmm? Oh, and auctioning. Yeah, 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 yeah. Raffles and auctioning. I think Sam brought up uh, a good little segue that can go a little further. If we get like a very big prize and we get like a nice sponsor for that, hey, that could be good. So yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. So if you want to run that, let's do that. Sam, over to you.
Cool.
Then Charlotte, then Tian.
I have a feeling that Charlotte's about to bring up what I'm about to say, but let's see.
Oh, Tian mentioned
There were two
something.
main obstacles for me that stopped me from doing bigger raffles like the one that Nels mentioned. The one was that I didn't have the personal connections to get like a prize that was worth getting for people outside of the frisbee community. So I know my school in the past did things like weekends away for couples and that sort of thing, and like restaurant dinners and nice wine hampers and that sort of thing. And if people within the Wild Dogs community have connections like that, those sorts of prizes are great. Like weekends away, really good, that sort of thing. I even know like there was a private school here that did a car once, which was kind of crazy. Um, and they sold a hell of a lot of tickets. Anyway, then the second point, which I think is what Charlotte's about to mention, is that there are a number of regulations around lottos and raffles that obstructed me from taking part because we're representing our country. It is a little bit like weird. I can't remember all the nitty gritty details, but there are restrictions on the price of tickets, how many tickets you can sell, what the value of the prize that you can raffle up is. So it's hard to negotiate around that. I know that I think the requirement is that you're not allowed to sell more than 100 tickets at 100 rand each, but I stand very much to be corrected. I encourage anyone to look at raffles to go and look at the exact legislation around it. Yeah, so those were the two things that obstructed me from doing raffles.
Tebo, can I quickly jump in here?
Yeah, I think yes. Jump in.
I did the raffles within my own community. The easy regulations is just 10 rand tickets, 10,000 max sale with a max price of 10,000 rand. That's the easy route. We don't need to get authorities involved. But where you want to get like weekends away with more than 10,000 and stuff like that, that's only when you need to start registering the event and stuff like that. So there is ways, but then you have to register and do a bit more admin on the legal side to get that massive raffles, and a raffle we get a lot of amounts of money in.
Okay, okay. I think we'll try to. Thank you for that. I should write that down. Just quickly type it in the chat if you don't mind. Those limitations that you said: 10 rand tickets, 10,000 max, something like that. And then Charlotte, yes.
Okay, thanks, Sam, for the info, and Tian for all the legislative information. That's very interesting, worth looking into. What I actually wanted to say is, so I've got an idea for, with my previous experience with fundraising, we did a online, what do you call it, like that fundraiser thing where everyone like on oh, now can you believe it, now that I'm online the word escapes my name, of the wait, let me put my camera on. What is that word? A crowdfunder. Thank you, God. Sorry, apologize. Anyway, so I was thinking, what about we raised 8,000 rand in our crowdfunder, and that was in 2015. With a crowdfunder, what you offer is like prizes and so like you incentivize donations. So maybe not do an online crowdfunder, but more like an email manual crowdfunder within the community and within our connections, our network community, where prizes can be something small, like if you make a 200 Rand donation, you get a beaded bracelet and a photo from the team saying thank you, something like that, a postcard, or you know, and then the bigger the bid goes, for 1,000 Rand, you get a disc and maybe a kit, something like that. That's a potential something for fundraising that I just a few weeks ago I came up with this idea.
Yeah, I back
I
that.
just wanted to
I
mention
think,
that.
say again?
I just wanted to mention that when Sam was talking about the well the raffle tickets, that just sparked this the idea that I had for the manual fundraiser.
Yeah,
Because if you
I've
go on, yeah,
so with the sponsorship proposal, we do have um for specific size donations, we do have
yeah,
like things that you can get in return for that. But I think maybe with the smaller ones, we can do what I did whenever someone donated me like 100 Rand. I just gave them like some stickers, and
mhm,
that could also be arranged. And yeah, as donations get higher, prizes also get higher, but we should just make sure that um how you say we have enough prizes for that and that the prizes don't cost too much for the
yes,
fundraiser at the end of the day. Um,
okay,
so yeah, I do like the idea of a thank you gift after
okay,
yeah, if
yeah.
that's what you're
Thank
saying.
you so much.
That's what you're saying, right? A thank you gift after donation.
Yes, that is what I was
Okay.
saying. Is a thank you gift auto donation, but it doesn't have to be something grand and
No, not at all.
expensive. It can be something so simple as a postcard signed by each team member,
Okay.
something like that, something sentimental. Especially people people can keep it in our communities as a keepsake. It's something special.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
sure.
We'll make something special. Something special that's not too cumbersome for us to make and for us to give.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think so far the raffle idea was a good one to get started with in terms of our discussion around um, what we could actually do as fundraising as a team or for team fundraising that can be player initiated. If we literally just find someone to, um, maybe there could be a task force where a few people find some prizes, and then we can find specific times to actually run different raffles. So, yeah, we're going to need some help with that from a player's perspective. Are there any other ideas for team fundraising that you guys can do as players? Um, that you think, yeah, as like players, we can pull together from around the country in our regional teams to do? Mark, the floor is yours, Mark.
I just have an idea. I'm not even sure if it's a good one because it's quite niche, but talking about connections now had me thinking like, do you think people would be interested in experience, maybe if they're into bird watching? Like I know a guy that is a like a world-renowned bird guide. Would people pay or like auction for a special trip with that guy to go somewhere birding? Or also like I know Tian was talking about limits of like 10,000 rand, but also I have friends from school, whatever, that own lodges maybe in Sabi Sands. You know those places where South Africans can't afford to go and they're really expensive. But maybe now someone gets that for 15,000 rand versus 50,000 rand, then that's like a really good deal. And now maybe people are a bit more interested in getting that. Are those ideas? Is that how I should be thinking?
So you're saying that
Yeah.
people get an expensive experience at a special as a prize in the raffle.
Basically, yeah,
So that,
because
yeah.
these people are my friends. Yeah,
Hmm. I think that may be a little bit too close, but I don't actually do the regulations here. But
yeah,
what I see from Tian's description is that the max value of the prize needs to be 10K. So even if you
mm,
like give a discount, if it's like a 50K car, but you still have to pay 40K, yeah, it's still a 50K car. So that's just my
yeah,
understanding. I could be wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'll get. That's just what I'm thinking of right now, but I'll obviously think and refine those ideas more.
Yes.
But yeah,
Then you're thinking the right way,
cool.
Mark. Like getaways.
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of it looks like we're comfortably in the raffle like area. So while we're here, let's start thinking of some cool prizes that we can actually start looking for us to actually start raffling. So Mark, Sam says that he backs those ideas. So actually let's keep going. Does anyone else have any cool ideas um for a raffle um for winning a raffle? Experiences sound good. So getaways are one option. Tian, I see your hand is up there.
Just a quick note on the start price we're going to give. Since we are going to be, we're a SA team, you must also consider if a person donates it in Gauteng, but a winning person is in Western Cape, that's
Mm.
also something we need to consider. Are we going to get it there? Are we going to post it? Are we going to, whatever we're going to do, are we going to get the prices to our applicable winners?
That's a good point, and I think if if how you say prizes are bound to like a specific place, then regional teams should run the raffle and then just filter the money to the national team. So yeah, what the structure sort of allow for is for for regional teams to also have something going. Um, yeah, so like Sam's concert, for example, was only in Cape Town, and if you were in Cape Town at the time, you could go. But then he got help from other wild dogs that were within the vicinity. So yeah, if there's something that's like geo-locked in inverted commas, then work with the people that are like closest to you and then send the money up. But yeah, geo-locked ideas are still good ideas. Aiden?
I was just thinking, sort of in terms of things that you can raffle out. I know, I kind of know somebody whose father does like 3D printing.
Ooh,
So something that could potentially be done is that you could get your own sort of design or like a custom design made through the
huh.
3D printing.
Okay, custom 3D printing design. I like that.
Oh, Nell has a 3D printer. Okay.
Now also has a 3D printer. In terms of 3D printers, I was thinking maybe some merchandise could be cool. Some Wild Dogs disc clips could be lacquer. But the only question is scale. I don't know how you scale 3D printers. I don't know like if you reach capacity. Null, do you have any ideas on that? We'll give you a second.
Sorry, I just had to remove the people. So it's the thing is, it's obviously a long, a cumbersome process. The 3D printing. Um, we literally got um, filament today, and it's quite expensive as well.
Mm.
But I think like personalized stuff could be quite cool, and also merchandise, like let's say small wild dogs or whatever. Um, so I think it could work. Um, yeah, I think it could work. Or even have you seen those disc holders, like dinosaur disc
Disc clips.
holders or stuff like
Yes.
that? Disc clips. Those are also like really nice to I think to deal out. But I think I'll back the idea in terms of I think it's possible to kind of run it.
Okay. You've given me an idea, Tian. I see your idea for a raffle, Mr. Stelly's boy. We're gonna talk about that and the painted dog soon. But yes, my hand is up for 3D printing and scale. I think you're not the only person I know that has a 3D printer. If we could like, I don't know, somehow commission a whole bunch of 3D printers to get disc clips, that would be cool. So I'm not sure exactly how 3D printers work, but correct me if I'm wrong. You can sort of source designs for a 3D print like online, and then you put the file into your 3D printer and then it prints.
Yeah,
Are,
exactly. You can even design your own things if you like. But yeah, there's
is
a lot of designs on the website on websites.
is there any way, right, that you could get a wild dogs disc clip? I've seen like a T-Rex disc clip, right? But what if you could get like a wild dogs disc clip? Um, that's the one thing. And if that's
Well,
not possible, yeah.
I mean, in my in engineering, we do CAD drawings and stuff, so I can well not easily, but I can draw or I can design my own like a disc clip if it's needed, and I can even build off the dinosaur just to make sure the dimensions and everything are right. But I just want to add on to our 3D printers. They are at my house, and I'm in Potchefstroom.
Uh-huh.
So my brother has to run that. So I'm just saying the like logistics of that. Yeah.
Okay, I hear that. Um, I see Aiden's idea. I like that idea, Aiden. That idea actually slaps. Um, but you won't be the only person with a 3D printer. We'll probably try to put out a call and see if we can get a bunch of people to do it. The only concern is filament, and how much it's going to cost. But yeah, it's like selling anything. You're going to need to get the profits to outweigh the costs. And hopefully we can find a way to make that happen. If we do actually sell disc clips, would you be keen to run with this now? Would you be keen to say the disc clips are my baby and I will take the disc clips. I will make the disc clips grow into something big. Um,
I'll see if I can do it.
okay.
I'm interested in it. I'm just afraid that I won't have time because next year I'm running a vacation work while doing my script. What scripts in English? Like the fourth year, the final year
Oh,
project.
your thesis.
Yeah, my thesis, and I'm running elevation. I'm on the what do you call the admin? Yeah,
Oh, you're on
elevation
the
admin.
committee. Okay, okay.
Yeah, on
Then
that
it's fine.
committee. So
That's fine.
yeah,
No worries. No pressure. I just wanted to check. We'll first go to Charlotte, then we'll go to the comments because the comments are looking, ooh, too nice, too nice.
I just wanted to say that I'm here to help out with anything that requires like entrepreneurial skills. I'm not the best at everything, but I try my best. So if Noel can do it and he wants to do it, and he just needs someone to assist him with maybe selling and emails and whatevers and what have you not, I can help out.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Um, yeah, I think we'll be leaning on you for that. And also other things as well when it comes to fundraising. Okay, moving on to the comments. Tian says, wine also works nice in raffles. Yes, 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 yes. If you have any contacts, all the Stellies people, John T, you're there. Yeah, if you can even find pies for the raffle, John T, make a plan. Um, wine, cheese. Maybe we could get like some very nice foods, a flower basket. That could also be nice. Um, before your hand, I'm quickly going to finish the comments. Otherwise, I'm never going to get there. But I check. So, Aiden says, "What about disc clips in the shape of South Africa with the wild dog on it. And I think that Eswatini little mouth could be pretty cool. I like that vision. I like that vision. And then Lori Ann says there are customizable disc clip designs for free online that could work. So, okay, disc clips are looking very, very possible. Um, we just need the 3D printers to find it. So actually, let's find 3D printers in SA within the Frisbee community. Okay. Okay. John T.
I know when we did the raffle for Steadies to get the Opens team some money, one of the prizes, my aunt owns like a guest bar and like house thing, and we use that as one of the prizes as something to go away from the putting all our eggs in the frisbee basket as a reward. But then the problem would be also the location only being in Cape Town, Durbanville kind of area.
Okay. So maybe what we could do, right, is we could get all the coastal wild dogs, that have contacts in nice getaway places to be like, do you have a place? 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 We get a bunch of people that have a bunch of places, and then there could be like an auction or a raffle, like all at once. It could be like the getaway raffle, like the get some stuff raffle, and then like the merchandise raffle. So maybe we could split up different raffles into different prizes. Um, and that could actually be a good way to do that, because it looks like we have a lot of people that have friends that could do things. Logan, I check the coasters. That's some nice merchandise that we can also sell. I think that's a good idea. Um, yeah, what? Yeah, merchandise, coasters. I like that. So we have a nice little mind map here of raffle, like the different types of raffles. We have the different types of merchandise. Um, okay. Okay, things are actually coming together quite nicely. So the campaign has discs, disc clips. Does anyone know anyone like on a golf estate? Um, or like skydiving or something like like surfing or bungee jumping, something where you can get like not just a getaway experience, but like an ex like a go-karting with your friends experience, or like a restaurant restaurants. That's okay. Mark, what you got there?
I could probably sort out a nice price for like Skukuza Golf Club, the
Okay.
wildest golf course in Africa. That I could do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, golf days. Has anyone hosted a golf day? I know my school used to do that, but yeah, that could be tough. Okay, never mind. Okay, so Skakuza Golf Course, getaways around the country. What else did we say for raffles? We said getaways and then stuff like wines, cheese. What about some other artisan stuff? Do we know any, not artists? What else? What else do people like? Uh, Charlotte, what you got
There's
for
like
us?
there's like Princess Pesto, like artisan breads, artisan cheeses,
Uh,
all kinds of stuff that local businesses that we can look into. Like, yeah, in PE we've got a local artisan French bakery, like a prize like that's quite nice. People love breads. I don't know if you guys have contacts that's
I
got
love bread.
bakeries and stuff like that.
I love bread, but I pay my baker, so we're not tight like that. Uh,
No, but I'm just saying, bread's very nice. I just in Joburg, sorry, I have to bring this up. I had a toaster sandwich without chips for 98 Rand. I was blown away.
that's
I'm like,
wild.
how? how expensive is Joburg in comparison to where I live?
That's not my
Anyway,
jersey. That's not my jersey. Okay, it sounds like Tian says that once the prizes get pretty expensive, we should actually do auctions. Are there any limitations on auctions that we know of? Like like the same types of limitations that are on raffles? Do we know that? Do you know anything? Maybe we run a bunch of auctions. Maybe we run a bunch of auctions, hey? Tian?
I'm unaware of the limits on auctions, but that would be pretty easy to search once somebody just gets down on a chair, because it will also be somewhere in the Gazette or something. Those rules will be listed because there will be rules for that.
Okay, okay. We should look into that. All right. With 15 minutes left, let's see, what was the plan? Players to come up, merchandise. Oh, thanks, Google, telling me you have 15 minutes left. We also, another fundraiser that could be a fun way to engage the community is maybe like a fantasy league for tours. I know it was done in the 2019 campaign, where there was a showcase game against like a barbarians team, and then like you would choose a wild, or you choose like a fantasy team of like the wild dogs and barbarians, and then like your players, if your player got a goal, then they get like 5 fantasy points. An assist would be 3, a turnover would be 1, or something like that. That's also an option that we could maybe do um, during the tours. I'll see if we can get streaming involved with that. Um, but yeah, that's that could be possible. I'm trying to think if that's closer to sponsorship, um, because we're also going to be looking at sponsorships for streaming, much like we did, or we tried to do at Own. We got a few sponsors. We got a few sponsors there, which was good. Um, but yeah, a fantasy league. That's also a fantasy league. Yeah, fancy weekend. I love me some fancy football. Are there any other ideas that we can think of for team fundraising? I know we said car washes are too labor intensive. What about bake sales? Bake sales? Anyone keen on bake sales? Does anyone bake here? Cookies?
I bake,
Yeah.
but and I have quite a big community of people that I know in different, like church, my church community, my whatever communities here in PE. So it's not something that's undoable if you guys want me to do a bake sale.
Okay, okay. We'll just
Yeah.
put that
Uh,
down. Yeah.
like I'm keen on a bake sale, but it'll be here in PE.
Yeah.
Um, we can be creative, like, um, cupcakes with wild dogs on them. We see. There's interesting stuff you get at bakery shops.
Hmm. Okay, that's cool. In
Cupcakes, all kinds of goodies.
all kinds of stuff. Okay. Before I get to Hannah's hand, I want to do Aiden had a hand. I saw it. Then we'll go to Mark's comments about running events, which I think is also key. And then we'll go to Hannah's hand. Aiden, the floor is yours.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the previous sort of option of like making use of, I guess, fancy people that you know. So
Mm.
people who are like experts in photography or bird watching.
Ooh.
And then you get them to sort of, especially if they offer a course already. Like if you know somebody
Mm.
who offers photography courses, then you'd be like, hey, can you give me some like free tickets? And then you can use those tickets sort of as an option.
Okay, I like that. So back to like experiences in raffles, like you can get like a course um, for how to use your camera or something like that. Or
Yeah.
you can get like a cameraman to take photos of you. So you can get like a family photo shoot for free. I like that. So like nice services as well. I'm not sure if that was your idea, but I'm running with that. But yes, I like that. So get skilled people involved. Mark spoke about hosting tournaments like the 4v4 at Wits. That's also a good fundraiser. I think, yeah, once again, appealing to the frisbee community, and you're also like doing a service. What I like about events is that, especially frisbee events, is that you're keeping the community active. And then, yeah, like people are paying you for the service. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that regional teams you should probably consider doing. Um, yeah, as a fundraiser. Hannah.
Hey everyone. Yeah, just on a note for the bake sale is that it doesn't necessarily have to be fixed to a location. In previous years, I think it was 2019, they took opportunity of nationals, and then they would like put out a call for who wants to order brownies or stuff like that, and then the baked goods would then be delivered at the nationals tournament. So in a way, that also kind of makes selling goods, or at least food goods, easier. Because then you're not like standing under a gazebo making boerewors rolls and pancakes. The stuff is ready, it's packaged, it just needs to be handed out. In a way, it's like a pre-order. I don't know how successful it was in 2019. We might need to ask the people who did actually put in the effort, because that's also another thing. Like baking takes a lot of effort and resources. And yeah, you'd have to do quite a lot of costing to make sure that you're pricing your goods to make it fairly decent profit, but also not like making them so expensive that you're like, whoa, this is from like a 3-star Michelin bakery or something. So yeah, I'm not opposed to baked goods. It is one of like ways to make decent money. Like people like to eat and they also want to help. So, that's kind of like a nice way to raise money.
Bang. Okay, cool. We are not limited by
Tipple, you're
our,
muted.
uh, bang. We're not limited by geography. We can bake and sell anywhere. But specifically at Nationals, and Own is going to be in East London. So if we are going to think of something that we're going to do like on a national level, um, think of the Eastern Cape, think of 910 May, 910 May, 910 May. And that's, yeah, we're going to be cooking there. We'll also be doing some sponsorship stuff for that time as well. On to Logan once again. What if we, and this is Charlotte, this one you could probably contribute to. What if we go to different schools and introduce them to Frisbee for a small fee? So maybe like running some clinics at a small fee, and then the schools can sort of support like financially. What is that possible, Charlotte? Like you've been in contact with a few schools and you're getting that thing going. What's the likelihood of that actually happening?
Okay, so the plan is I have been working with Future Nations schools along with Tsepo and Baden. But we hosted the Future Force conference in Soweto, and their school came. We've now been invited, Tsepo and me, to do a presentation for their inter-house high school and primary school, uh, whatever. Sorry guys, I'm a bit nervous. Anyway, and Tsepo is going to speak about the campaign, and that is a really great way for you guys to get word out. And you were talking about raffles and kids doing raffles earlier. So these children are going to be playing Ultimate Frisbee as a sport at their school this year. And we will be supplying them with coaches, Tsepo, and the coaches will be being paid, hopefully, by the looks of it, from what I've heard from Underseaway. So I don't know who we're going to get to coach those for Future Nations school. I think you and I have spoken about this a bit. But it looks like they will be paying us, and we can also use this opportunity that we have to go and speak to them about the sport to leverage that for fundraising for the wild dogs.
Yeah, I think what you'll gain from schools is probably like another place to do more fundraising. And I think, as Charlotte is saying, if you are going to coach or like run a clinic, then that wouldn't be a team fundraiser necessarily, but it would probably be you raising funds for yourself, like you're doing the work, so you're getting paid for that. Um, and if your regional coach is able to coordinate like a group of you, so let's say like what my idea would be to get like a bunch of northern region wild dogs within my community, um, like train them and then train them to train others, and then from there they can become coaches and then like charge like 200 rand an hour. That's actually a pretty decent rate, maybe like yeah. Anyway, and then it can be like some work for you to do after school, as an option. So yeah, introducing schools to Ultimate as a fundraiser, I would recommend as an individual. Yeah, because there you're sort of building relationships, and then from there you can do other fundraising beyond that. You can be like, hey, we're running a raffle. Don't you want some wine? You see, and then you can talk to them there. So that's also an
Ah,
option. Yeah, you see.
um, would you at all be in favor of the kids getting on board to raise funds for you guys, like with a raffle?
As in like the school kids that were coaching.
Yes, that you'll be coaching to get on board and like for their grades. Let's say you do grade 5 and grade 6, let's say, for instance, and this group of children say, okay, we're going to fundraise for the wild dogs because we're so proud of our national team and we want to be just like them.
I'm hesitant. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty hesitant.
Okay, can't we
Um,
do that? Rather
yeah,
not.
I'd rather avoid that.
Okay.
Let's focus on us making the money, and if we're going to ask them, so if there are kids in school, we don't want them to raise money for us, but we want to give them an experience that's worthwhile, that they can buy into,
No.
and then if they want to be part of the program, then they can join like our fundraising efforts, but we're not going to like be like, hey, tell your parents. It's going to be more like, hey,
Okay.
mom, I'm so excited about frisbee. Can I go do fundraising with the dude who likes pie? He's so cool. And that way they'll get involved, but they're involved with us. So yeah.
Okay, lekker.
Okay.
Lekker, I understand. I get the gist.
Okay, cool. This call is going to end in 3 minutes. So I'm going to open the floor up for any more ideas. I think this was very successful. We have a few ideas. We just need to get these ideas like actioned. Charlotte, do you have time to like put this into like some sort of document that we can choo choo choo, you do this, get some delegation going? Would you be able to help with that?
Yes, I can. When do you want me to do it?
I'll talk to you on the fundraising group.
Okay, awesome.
Sweet. Any other additions that Charlotte needs to add to her notes? Laka. Laka. Okay, then I think I'm done. If you have any ideas, please don't be shy. There are multiple channels that you can literally like reach us at. You can message your regional group. I'm there. I will tell the fundraising group. You can tell your coach. They'll tell me. I'll tell the fundraising group. You can find Charlotte on the fundraising. You know what? Pop into the fundraising group. And then, yeah, if you have ideas for raising funds, then all the fundraising ideas are in the same place. You see, vision. So yeah, cool. That's me. Hannah, you have seconds. Go.
Sorry, I just had an idea. We can do a quiz night.
Quiz night. That's brilliant. We should run events. Yes, a quiz night. Why didn't I think of that? Let's get that down. Hannah, you're a genius. Genius. That's why she's the assistant manager. That's why she's the assistant manager. Ha ha. Okay, cool. I'm gonna end the recording there. That was